Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Maddie, and in this video, I'm going to be covering the settings in RemNote. I'm going to go through all the tabs one by one, and I'm also going to show you how to install plugins so you can use in your knowledge base. So let's just go ahead and get started. To access your account settings in RemNote, go to the sidebar and click on your account name. Scroll down to the settings cogwheel and go ahead and click on that. The first tab is your account tab. This is where you can log out, or you can add a Gmail login if you want to have that kind of double authentication for your account. And this is where you can also access your knowledge base settings. You can import and export information into your knowledge base using the import or export and backup features. You can view your trash, where all of your hidden rem are stored for 30 days. You can view all the cards in your knowledge base. Or if you want to do a clean wipe of your knowledge base and delete everything, you can do so by hitting the advanced settings here and deleting all rem. Wouldn't recommend you do that though. And for our pro and lifelong users, you can also download a daily backup. Daily backups are automatically saved to the RemNote cloud every 2 weeks, and you can just go back and download any of those days you want to back up your knowledge base if you're afraid of any corruption or any loss of data. Next is the subscription tab, pretty self-explanatory. You can change your subscription from the free version to the pro or lifelong users. Not much more. Next is the subscription tab. You can change your plan from the free to the pro or lifelong users. Not much more to cover here. The interface tab is like global customization for your RemNote experience. Here you can change between dark mode, for example, and light mode. You can switch to right or left-handed mode depending on the language that you're using. You can toggle off and on focus mode here, which just hides some of the text around your editor while you're working. Or you can add your own custom CSS if you want to change the look of your RemNote and you have the appropriate tools to do so. Hannes has a great library of custom CSS plugins that he created for our community. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to access those as well. The flashcards tab has customization for your queue experience. For example, if you wanted to manually type in your answers instead of just clicking a button to reveal the other side, you have an option to toggle on that option here as well. A lot of these are very self-explanatory. You can just toggle on and off whichever features you want to be shown while you're studying from your queue. Most of these are pretty straightforward. Just customize it however fits your workflow the best. The next tab is the Custom Schedulers tab, which just allows you to customize the RemNote spaced repetition algorithm. I made a separate video for that, so definitely check that out here. The next tab is keyboard shortcuts. At the top, you have a couple of settings you can change to toggle on or off if you want. You can also search for any shortcut you want, like how to add a portal or how to copy a reference. And it's also important to note that you can change any of these hotkeys if you want to as well. You can do so by clicking on the keyboard icon beside the hotkey you want to change. It'll then prompt you to add a new shortcut. For example, I'll use Control+8. And if you ever want to change it back to the default, just go ahead and click on the X next to the icon that appears. The next tab is to customize the RemNote editor. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Just go ahead and toggle on the options that you want to see in your editor. The next tab is for your search settings. This is only going to apply if you use the concept descriptor framework in RemNote. If you toggle it on or off, when you search in RemNote, you'll only be shown concepts or documents. The next tab is for your sidebar. Again, pretty self-explanatory, and I actually have a whole separate video about the sidebar, so definitely check that out if you want to learn how to customize your sidebar sections. Notifications just enables welcome emails to your email. The next tab is labs, and the lab settings are all of the experimental features that we're kind of playing around with in RemNote. These are like beta features, which are not actually fully integrated, so they might have some bugs, but they are just some experimental features. If you want to try them out, go ahead and toggle on whichever ones you want to use. And the last tab is for plugins. This is definitely an area that we hope to expand so other users can actually build plugins to customize their own RemNote experience and then share them with the community so that everyone can use them. The most popularly used plugins are shown here, but as long as you have the URL of where the plugin came from, you can install it into your knowledge base. So I'll demonstrate by installing a plugin into my knowledge base. I'll install this word counter plugin. All you have to do is click on Add. Now you can scroll down to the bottom and it's going to show you this box here that has all the plugins installed in your knowledge base. Here's the plugin URL. As I mentioned, that's what you need to actually install the plugin. You can customize the CSS height and width of the plugin itself. You can change the permissions of whether or not you want the plugin to be able to read and create, modify, or delete in your knowledge base. And you can also add a hotkey for your plugin. So for example, if I want to use the word counter, I can make it a hotkey Control-Shift-J And now if I'm typing in my editor, this sentence, I can use the hotkey Control-Shift-J, and it will insert the word counter into my document, showing me how many characters and how many words there are. I chose to have it inline in my document, but you can also make it a pop-up if you want to. And if you want to delete that from your knowledge base, just go ahead and click delete. There are a lot of settings in RemNote, and it can get really troublesome to click through manually to find what you're looking for. So we added a search box in these settings. So here you can actually just search through all your settings for something that you're looking for. So if I wanted to add cute dogs in my queue, I can just type in cute dogs here and click that to toggle it on. All right, guys, that was it for this video. Hope that was helpful, and I will see you in the next video.